Me, 28, and fiancé, 27, have been together for 4 years, engaged for 6 months. I also have a 7-year-old lab mix who is the greatest dog in existence. On Saturday, fiancé had a bachelorette party at home. I stayed with my parents, but I left the dog with her because she likes having him there. However, I made sure to tell her to put the dog in our bedroom once the party gets going. 5 a.m. on Sunday I get a frantic call that something's wrong with the dog. She was drunk, so I told her to get a taxi and go to the emergency vet clinic. When I got there, she looked like she hadn't stopped crying for hours and she couldn't even speak. 2 of her friends were there, so they told me my dog is alive but not well. I felt sorry for her for an entire 10 minutes while waiting for the doctor. But then, the doctor told me my dog ingested large amounts of alcohol and chocolate edibles. The girls apparently thought it would be cool to leave everything out on short coffee tables, leave the dog to wander around instead of putting him in our bedroom, and then get wasted and not notice he was going to town with the booze and edibles. When we got home, I told my fiancé to pack and get out of my house and my life. I told her to tell her guests the wedding is off, and I'll tell mine. She was shocked, but she took her things and left. 2 hours later, I get bombarded by messages on Messenger, WhatsApp, by her sisters, brother's wife, her mom, her friends, telling me that I am insane to do this to her after 4 years. They started off defending her, but it quickly turned into insulting me. The logical thing for me to do was look for comfort in my friends and family. Nope. They all fucking agree. My mom said, "Well, it was a mistake, she didn't do it on purpose, besides, the dog didn't die." Lucky me, eh? My dog didn't freaking die. My sister was appalled that I cancelled the wedding over that. And even my best man said I might have overreacted. Yes, our relationship has had ups and downs, but it's mostly worked fine. But I am so disgusted at my fiancé that I can't even imagine looking her in the eye, let alone spending my whole life with her. She isn't freaking 17, she is 27. By the way, this is not the first dumb thing she has done. She likes to text while driving, she always leaves stuff on the electric stove, like kitchen towels, the cutting board etc., even though she has turned on the wrong burner and burned whatever was on it several times in the past, and similar dangerous things. It's not something I hold against her in the sense that I would ever mention in a fight, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried that she might end up killing herself or someone else. For example, my dog. I'm 99% sure I will stand by my decision. But am I really an a-hole? Literally nobody is on my side, and I have no idea what to think. She clearly doesn't mean that much to you, so yeah, leave over this. I have a cat whom I adore beyond reason, and if my current boyfriend accidentally hurt him, I'd be pissed and upset, but your dog isn't dead. If he's more important than your woman, that relationship is doomed. I've been in a relationship where I would have chosen my cat over them. That is not a good relationship. It sounds like OP is also concerned about a series of careless and dangerous carelessness. Would you say the same if it was a child? Yeah, but if it was a child everyone would realize that OP shares liability as well. Locking a dog in a room all night isn't usually going to work out well on a good day, especially not when there are a ton of people partying outside the door. And it's really hard to take care of a dog while drinking and partying, and this was a clear recipe for disaster. Everyone sucks here, OP showed poor judgment as well. Everyone sucks here, and reading through your replies to most people it seems you've got a lot of issues with your partner's behavior, and you were possibly looking for a good enough reason in your head to end it. I hazard a guess that if everything you've listed has been getting to you over time, that the marriage would not have lasted long after that. I feel like he's almost the a-hole for letting it get this far. There were clearly a lot of other issues and asked this girl to marry him, only to break it off after the bachelorette party. Yikes. Everyone in their lives is going to think he's the a-hole for this. I guess on the bright side, better now than in a few years. Everyone sucks here. People tend to brush off their partner's bad qualities because they love them. This is that scenario where OP's girlfriend has been reckless over and over again, but OP loved her and wanted to marry her. And then she almost got his dog killed. It was a massive wake-up call for him that a recklessness almost did get something he loved killed. Not the a-hole. That level of carelessness could lead to death. What would people say if she had done the same thing with a kid around? It's pretty obvious how you feel. Getting out now seems like a better option than having this fester until the divorce. About 3 years ago my dad was injured in a really bad hit-and-run car accident. He broke just about every bone in his body and left him paralyzed from the waist down. Our relationship has always been really good, but I hate seeing him in pain and admittedly try to avoid seeing him because it just makes me uncomfortable. In November I'm getting married. I've been with my fiancé for 4 years and he and my dad get on really well. Naturally the discussion of who was going to give me away came up in the family group chat and I kept silent after I realized my dad would be in a wheelchair. We always talked about him giving me away and having a dance at my wedding and I don't want to be reminded of what could have been at my wedding. I messaged my mom privately and told her I want my uncle to walk me down the aisle as we're incredibly close. She naturally asked why and I told her that my dad being in a wheelchair would add complications to the wedding. The walkway would have to be widened to accommodate his wheelchair and he wouldn't be able to hold my arm or give me a proper hug. She was outraged, called me an ableist piece of shit and removed me from the group chat. My aunt has since called me telling me my dad is absolutely devastated. Am I the a-hole? You are the a-hole. I don't think you are ready to get married because clearly the in sickness and in health part is too much for you. This is so incredibly evil that it has to be fake. You're the a-hole, but this is fake. It's gotta be. You're the a-hole. I'm utterly disgusted by you. Your dad did nothing wrong to you. Did you ever think his pain would become worse by avoiding him? And your reasoning not to walk him down are ridiculous. You can't even show fucking love to him. Your dad may be on a wheelchair but you have no leg to stand. You're the a-hole. Your father has burned with you forever. Even in a wheelchair. And now you want to act like this? This says a lot about your character and honestly I pity your future husband for having somebody with a crappy character. You're the a-hole. Absolutely, 100% the a-hole. My dad had aggressive cancer and I was terrified that he wouldn't be able to walk me down the aisle. He's in remission now and I thank God every day that he will be with me as I take the next step in my life. I sincerely hope you're a troll. To have a father that has survived despite the odds and wants to be there for you as you get married is something many people don't get. If you don't want him there because his situation makes you uncomfortable, you are heartless. Entitled. Cruel. Simply, your father deserves a better daughter. By 27 fiancé 25 has an obvious permanent burn scar from an accident that caused her mother, her only parent, to pass away from injury. My fiancé had a long recovery, it's been 7 years. The scar is on her collarbone. It goes down her chest but isn't showing. Unless she's wearing square tops. She often wears hoodies, jackets to cover up. She puts this cream, I don't know what ladies call it, but it's supposed to tone skin color or something. I'm not sure, but my fiancé calls it foundation that is 1 degree brighter than her skin color. I absolutely adore her, she's pretty, smart, ambitious and the list goes on. What happened was unfortunate and I'm glad she's at peace with herself and more confident. My family love her. How can they not? She's a member of the family. My mom makes sure she takes part in every family function and things like shopping and decorating other things. However, my sister made comments about my fiancé's car several times. I've called her out on her behavior several times to get her to stop because she was hurting me before my fiancé with her backhanded and insensitive comments. I told my fiancé she had every right to cut my sister out and not deal with her bullshit, but she has been forgiving and respectful of my entire family. Our wedding is in February. My fiancé went shopping for the wedding dress. This is where the issue started. My fiancé showed the wedding dress to my sister. I didn't see it, but I was told it was a spaghetti strap dress. My fiancé likes this stuff. Anyways, my sister saw it and went nuts. She started criticizing her choice and said that she should have gotten a high neck or a jewel wedding dress to cover up the scar. She argued with my fiancé about it. I went to my family's house and I confronted her. I yelled at her after she told me my fiancé needed to return the dress and get a proper one so that guests won't focus on her burn scar and use it as the topic of conversation and gossip. I told her that she's not invited to our wedding. She isn't welcome to my wedding with this entitled attitude of hers and her insensitivity and disrespect. We argued for half an hour, then I left. In exactly an hour. My mom and dad called and berated me saying my sister was crying after I uninvited her and that I had no right to uninvite her. She's my sister and was just trying to help out and give an advice and avoid any unnecessary drama at the wedding. My mom said my fiancé can keep a dress but suggested to wear a bridal shawl as a neutral solution. I stopped responding to my mom's calls and texts after that. Family members were upset my sister was uninvited and wanted me to invite her again because this will make family look bad in front of outsiders and guests. Not the a-hole. Uninvite anyone who insults your fiancé, in my opinion. I'm definitely standing my ground. This is mine and my fiancé's big day. Not the a-hole. Also, foundation is exactly what it sounds like, a foundation, for the rest of your makeup, etc. usually used to even out skin tones and make blemishes less obvious. If it's a shade lighter, most likely concealer. I did find OP's detailed description of what it was very sweet, as it shone through how much he values his fiancée and takes interest in her, even just in makeup. Very telling and very lovely. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. I'm glad your fiancé has a good support system in you. Your sister made it dramatic. Your fiancé deserves to feel beautiful on her wedding day and your sister is taking that away from her. Tell your parents they are not say anything to your fiancé that makes her feel bad about herself. Not the a-hole. Your mom is ridiculous to suggest your fiancé needs to compromise with anyone on her wedding dress. OP is not the a-hole, his sister and mother now those two surely are. That rotten apple didn't fall from the tree.